The morning stream. Man, give me $50.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS, the morning stream for January 30th, 2019. Scott Johnson here. Brian Ibbett there.
Oh, yes, Scott. Yes.
Yes.
Here I am.
Yes.
Hi, here. Hello.
Yes. So we're probably, I don't know, a couple hours away from Taylor giving birth. So
Grandpa time.
yeah, it's all happening. It's help, it's happening. So that's today. And, just got another message. Let's see what's going on. Just make sure everything's good.
It's gonna be, get over here now.
Oh, they just broke her water. They did that manually. So now the movies would make you think, oh, that's it. You're giving the baby now. No, it still takes a while. That's an early stage. So
when you trigger water breaking, God, I don't even want to know how they manually break your water.
they literally, I tell you, because they did it to Kim. Two of the pregnancies, Kim had her water manually broken. You want to know how they do it?
I'm just picturing.
You know what? You're not
for
far.
For you audio listeners, it was Brian miming popping a balloon with a pin, closing his eyes, and like.
I mean, I don't want to freak anybody out, but that's kind of it. Like it's him.
Well,
my memory of it is this: it's him with a bunch of tarps around like a freaking Gallagher concert down there.
like you're in the front row at SeaWorld.
Yeah, and then he gets down there all hunched down. He's got a full-on schmuck looking thing on. Goggles that are like, normally you'd wear them in like a steel plant or something. He has those on, and then he gets down there and has like a little tool and goes in there and goes snag, and boom, bam, there's your water.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat room is saying like a big crochet hook or a knitting needle.
Yeah. That's basically it. It seriously does look like that. I have very vivid memories of this taking place with the two girls. Nick didn't. She broke her water before we even got to the hospital, so Nick didn't have to. But yeah, it was opening the floodgates for sure. And I remember one of the times the doctor said, "Whoa!" like that. Should that concern me?
The Hershey blows.
Yeah. Whoa! Ho! Ho! That's a lot. Okay. Everything was fine, but still, he seemed pretty excited about it. Hey, anyway, check this out. We're here. We're back. We're doing it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I predict a relatively full show, although maybe a tiny bit shorter than usual because only Nicole's here. But we'll see how that gets when we get to her.
Tom is in Hawaii.
Soaking it up.
Do you visualize Tom sitting on the beach? I cannot picture Tom laying on the beach on a towel.
Oh, no. He'll be sitting in a chair with pants on. He'll have
reading
pants and a T-shirt.
Non-reflective Kindle.
Mm-hmm. And one of those dumb Fisher guy hats. Like the little short-brimmed hats all around.
Does he have is his nose all white? Like just his nose is covered with...
It would have to be, because he's going to burn like a fish. He's going to burn like crazy out there. I don't know. Do fish burn? I may have made that up. Fish burn. Lawrence Fishburne.
If you overcook them, sure.
For sure. Just ask Morpheus. Hey, let's dive right in here real quick. I keep forgetting to do this, and so I want to do it up and early so I don't forget about it. Every time Jamie does a mashup from now on, I'm going to remind people that you can go to patreon.com/TMS mashups. That's a little Patreon he set up for himself. Just a little, way to get a little scratch for the good work he's doing. And I just keep forgetting to say it. So I'm saying it up front. Jamie, how you like me now? How you like me now, Jamie? How you like me now? So go check that out. And also, Brian, I can't wait to hear this story. You've been teasing me all last night about it, and now I have no idea what to expect. So what do you got here for me?
I played some D&D yesterday, man.
Ooh.
I did, it's me, another designer, and then this dungeon master, and then another guy who was kind of like the leader of our little adventure group, right?
Mm-hmm. Online or in person, or how was this done?
We're in person. This is all in person.
Okay.
And we start out and we come up to this chasm in the ground, and there's some orcs kind of pulling themselves up on a pulley system with a rope, and we take them out. We decide we're going to go down that. We lower ourselves down with the pulley system on the rope and everything, and we roll some dice, and you know what part I forget to mention, Scott? This was all part of like a fitness CrossFit thing.
What?
Yesterday I play tested a D&D CrossFit routine adventure I don't know what you call it. I play tested the merging of D&D and CrossFit, Scott.
Really? So wait, let me get this
Yes.
straight. You roll for if you roll for initiative, you roll for do a strength check or something like that. You got to go perform some.
What you're rolling for is like the difficulty level of the thing you're about to do. So, this rope thing, lowering ourselves down.
Yeah.
We went over to a rope suspended from the ceiling, and
This sounds
straight-legged had to slowly lower ourselves to the ground and pull ourselves back up 5 times.
How'd it
Wow,
go?
dude, and I don't know if you think it sounds easy or not. Holy crap, it's tough.
No, it sounds not easy. It sounds the opposite of easy to me.
And then the other member of your team is like doing a wall sit while you do that 5 times, and then you're rolling and you've got kettlebells and you're slamming a tire with a sledgehammer 50 times while your opponent does kind of like what do they call those skaters, where it's like going from foot to foot kind of thing.
What does the DM do this entire time? What's his job?
The DM is narrating and telling us basically what we're doing to kind of set up the exercise.
So since he's the NPCs and enemies and stuff, doesn't he have to do some of this as well? Doesn't he have to? No,
he sits back. He sits back with a martini resting up against a Nautilus machine.
Weird.
But this is it's really cool. And this is a friend of mine is doing this. He's trying to, this was our first play testing of it. He's basically wanting to set this up as a regular thing. Like you'll go there, you'll actually have an adventure that you go through from start to finish, and each decision you make, and you have decisions like, all right, do we go down the chasm and do the rope thing? And he doesn't tell you what the exercise is that's going to be tied with it. So it's like, all right, well, your choices are you see a sheer cliff wall over here, and you see a chasm where the orcs are pulling themselves up with a rope to come and fight you. Which one do you want to do? It's like, all right, well, we take out the orcs, and then I think we lower ourselves down the chasm, and then it's like, okay, you're going to be doing this exercise over here.
So with the actual fighting of the orcs, what does that turn out to be like? Is that just a regular D&D
We had these things, so it's like it's basically called a mace, and it is a long metal bar with a 10, 15, or 20 pound ball weight on the end of it.
Yeah.
And we're picking this thing up, and we're raising it above our heads and keeping our arms straight, and then dropping it down and picking it up and putting it up above our heads.
Wow.
So I've been doing Bowflex and recumbent bike on a daily basis for the last several weeks.
Yeah.
Holy crap, this thing kicked my ass. Kicked my ass.
Yeah.
I had a hard time getting up to get a drink of water when I got home last night. Sitting on the couch, we're watching TV. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get up and get a drink of water. And it sounded like I was getting acupuncture or something. Oh!
Wow.
I guess that's not what the sound of acupuncture should be like. But
no, if it is, you got the wrong acupuncturist, I think, if you're screaming.
Yes.
But yeah, freaking CrossFit is hardcore, man. Like that's not,
hardcore.
They're not kidding around. So, I mean, how, do you go a full little mini campaign, or like how long did this go?
We did about an hour of this, and squats and lifts and burpees. I hate burpees. Burpees are my least favorite thing in the entire world.
Hate them.
But anyway, it was good. It was about an hour, and I'm kind of looking forward to do it again. And don't worry, folks, I am not going to be like, all right, so now on CrossFit we're doing this, and this is CrossFit, and that CrossFit.
No, your whole world isn't going to become CrossFit.
Okay. It's gonna be, so in our D&D campaign, we did this. But
yeah.
it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of what I would need to do this sort of exercise routine. I need this sort of motivation and
they've gamified it. That's what it is.
Totally gamifying it. And these guys are actually working on getting a place to do this, like an actual their own fitness. Right now they're sharing space with a bunch of other fitness studio stuff. Sure. But they're looking at getting their own place where they could kind of design it up to look like, basically fit the theme of and it's called Horde CrossFit. It'd be really cool.
Oh my Lord. All right.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how this goes. Just thinking about CrossFit makes my head hurt. Sam Jane in the chat says, where'd it go? Says, sounds evil. Lawful evil.
Totally true.
So do you guys create characters? Or are they pre-built? Like this is what's
we
throwing
didn't do any
me.
sort of character. Yeah, we didn't do any sort of character stuff. We're two fat dudes.
Right. Two fat dudes.
Fat adventurers.
Two fat dudes spy a bunch of orcs climbing a rope is the name of the
right. Exactly.
adventure. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. That's interesting. I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
I want to hear more
And
when you
they're
go.
planning on doing like Marvel themed ones and stuff like that. And the dude, this is the guy, by the way, that I went to the rodeo with. The guy who had the guy I watched wolf down an entire funnel cake and eat 3 deep fried Oreos right afterwards for dessert.
Oh, right.
And
he's all buff, right? He's a buff dude.
The guy looks like Steve Rogers after. Which is kind of on purpose because he's going to be cosplaying as Captain America later this year, I think, for whatever Denver Comic Con, Pop Culture Con, Denver Pop Culture Con.
Yeah.
He's got the beard. I mean, he's got the look. He looks like freaking Steve Rogers.
Yeah. Well, I've seen CrossFit guys. They're so in shape that they can have those moments where they just eat whatever they want because who cares?
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to evaporate. It's like, here's 20 Oreos, no problem. Later on, I'm picking up a car and holding it over my head for 20 minutes. Like, they don't care. Well, that's fantastic, dude. Congratulations. Yeah. You've gamified your fitness. Well
Gamified
done.
my workout. So I'm going to do some more play testing. I don't know if I'm going to go next Tuesday because I don't even know if I talked about this. I told people I was going to the dentist, and I told you what happened at the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did. Did I tell people that they found a cavity under my filling?
Mm-hmm.
That
and you got to go back again.
Drill out the filling and
yep, next week, right? Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was yesterday, so I texted Brian and said, "How was your dental visit?" And he was like,
"Yeah, no.
That's
oh no, I've got a whole extra week to stress about it."
Yeah. I was gonna say you'd probably rather just get it over with.
Whole week to stress about it.
Don't you wish sometimes you just go in, they do the checkup, they find the thing, and they just say, you know what? For an extra half an hour, we'll just do it right now. Just do it now. Get it done.
Yeah. I can't decide if I would much rather have the procrastination, be able to say, "Nah, let's put it off."
Yeah.
Maybe something will happen to me in the next week and we won't have to do it.
Well, you never know. All right. Well done. Let's do this. It's that time of the week, everybody, where we play a little Battle Royale with our friend who visits us on Mondays and Wednesdays, typically. And that would be Brian Dunaway. Hello, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
The other Brian in our lives. It's nice to have you here. How are you? What's going on?
I'm doing good, brother. Let's see, I went to the dentist the other week, and I had a crown put on, and the tooth is so sensitive.
Oh,
so
yeah.
good luck, Ibbot.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Yeah, enjoy
Thanks for that.
Hey, here's the funny thing about crowns. I've got like 4 of them now. So I know you're...
My teeth are nothing but crowns.
I have 4 crowns, and 2 of them at least were like that. They were like sensitive for months. And then it finally chilled out, so it's fine now. Except if you poke at this one or do something weird to this bottom one, it hurts. Still.
Is there really that much of a need for poking there? Yeah. Don't do it.
Well, when they're doing
why
it,
would you poke there?
when they're not me, but when they're doing like a cleaning, they'll go in there and
I got you.
Get in there in the little seam there, and it's super sensitive there. Yeah, I got all my pain nerves in my head are right freaking there, right at that molar. And then up top, you could do anything up top you want to me. You drill my whole upper face off, and I wouldn't feel it. But down here, it's no good.
The thing about the dentist, Ibbot, and you know this, you're old enough to know this, it's always the thought of it's way worse. Because really, most of it's going to be numb, unless you're going through some serious oral surgery. It may be a little bit of pain. It's going to be all right. And when you walk out the office, it'll be like that whole thing where you go, oh, that wasn't so bad.
Right.
Yeah, no. There's for every one of those I can remember, there's always those other ones where it's like, oh my God, that was so much worse than I expected.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's, you can never predict.
Well, I'm excited for you because, we get stories out of it. That's what matters here on the show. This is all in service of the show. Is Brian to tell us that some dentist farted down his neck or something weird like that.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to figure out which is worse. Farted down your neck or farted on your neck. I'm pretty sure both would give me the willies.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
I'm getting a text update from Taylor. Let me just make sure. Oh, she says, feels like you have to poop, but it's just cramps. Okay. Great.
Okay.
Great. Raise my kids right. All right. Hey, Battle Royale. That's where you guys call in,
Johnson.
and you get to participate in the fun here and win a set of prizes. Today's prizes look fantastic. So if you'd like to call in, 801-471-0462. Jeannie has put it in the chat as well, so you can see it there. We have our first caller. Cancel, answer. Here we go. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
This is Dave.
Hello, Dave. Where are you from, Dave?
Bemidji, Minnesota.
Oh my gosh, how are you guys even gonna have phone service there?
wow.
What's going on there? You guys all right? It's freezing.
It's currently negative 36 out, and with wind chill, it's negative 52.
Ooh, good lord.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's bad.
Vortex.
Yeah.
You go outside and you turn into one of those bananas that the scientist guy came to your elementary school and smashed on the floor.
Yeah, with the liquid hydrogen. Yeah. Yeah, be
I
careful.
have to start my car every 2 hours just to make sure I can get home.
Yeah, no kidding. Well,
Get home. Oh no! Did you have to go to work?
yeah, he's at work, right?
Yeah, I'm at work right now. Yep.
Yeah,
Work for the Postal Service.
You're a dedicated postal man. Way better than anyone I got working near me. I can tell you that.
You don't have to go out and deliver mail though, right?
No, I'm a bulk mail tech. I take big shipments of mail in.
Oh,
Nice,
good.
Yeah,
So
'cause
you
I heard
can.
there's no delivery going on up there today.
Yeah.
At least in
No,
Chicago,
actually,
there's
yeah,
no delivery.
no one's going out right now. There's no delivery in the area.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, I hope it's all okay.
friggin-
Now you know what it's like to live like a penguin does. You know?
It's like ice cream.
Yeah. It is. It's really cold. Anyway, we're glad to have you here, though, and I'm glad the phone lines are working. I guess copper doesn't necessarily freeze. And so here we are. Hey, Brian, why don't you explain how
Yes.
this works to our good friend and what he could win?
Will do, Scott. Yes, Dave, I'm going to give Scott and Brian Dunaway a topic, and they're going to go back and forth with answers for that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, a repeated answer, or they freeze and don't come up with an answer, get it? The win will go to the other player. Your job is to chill and predict who is going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for the prizes that we had on Monday because our winner isn't much of a gamer and wanted something else, and I said that's totally fine. So we got those prizes again. If you were bummed you missed them, you got another chance. 7 Days to Die and Cities Skyline plus the After Dark DLC courtesy of H. So I hope you get those. Your topic today comes from listener Tom Robinson, who I've shared a beer with at a couple BlizzCons. He found this list of the best-selling music artists of all time. So best-selling musicians and bands of all time. I feel pretty confident. I'm going to go top... Oh, see, there's some I want you to... I'm going to say top 40 because, top 40.
The top 40.
Okay.
The top 40.
Do your Casey Kasem. Thanks, man.
No.
I will. Coming up on America's Top 40.
See what you do, Brian?
Me and Batman are going to go reach for the stars and keep our feet on the ground.
Yeah. You see what you did? It's on you now, Dunaway.
That's
I
right.
hope you can
Your fault.
sleep with
Oh,
yourself
sorry.
tonight.
Sorry.
All right.
I like it.
All right. Can you? Sorry.
Dave, who do you want to go first, and who are you expecting to win?
Let's go with Dunaway to win and Scott to start.
All right. Awesome. Brian, will you please restate the question?
I will restate
Just to make sure
the
I've got the
question.
exactness of this. I want to not screw this up.
These are the best-selling music artists of all time.
So it's not their albums, it's not their singles or anything
no.
like that. This is the artists themselves.
The artists themselves, yes.
All right.
Who has sold the most?
Okay.
And that's either band or a single individual.
Band
right?
or a single individual, yes.
All right. I'll go with some easy ones off the top of my head. Let's go with Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, number 3 on the list.
Famed
Good choice.
pedophile. Oh, wait.
Oh,
We don't have to go that deep?
jeez.
Okay. That's
We
fine.
don't have to go that deep.
Okay.
All right, Brian.
Where was he? Sorry. Where was he on the list?
Number 3 on the
Okay.
list.
All right.
Number 3. Well, I'm going to go with Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley, number 2,
Ooh.
which is, I think, what he was doing when he died. Didn't he die in the toilet?
Yeah,
No,
he
no,
was
no,
doing
no.
a number 2 with a
He
lot
did.
of
He
number
was
2.
doing the number twosies.
with a bunch of drugs in him. All right.
That's right.
Number 1.
And banana sandwiches, fried.
Number 1, we're going with oh geez, the Beatles.
There you go.
Yeah.
That took you way too long. Yes, number 1 on the list is the Beatles.
Okay.
Coming together at number 1.
Together.
Right.
Right now.
How's about? I bet those guys over there. I bet Queen sold a lot of albums.
Queen did sell a lot of albums. Put them up to number 11 on the list. So
Right.
good job with Queen.
I was planning on watching the Bohemian Rhapsody tonight. I was hoping I could do that. Have you watched it yet?
No,
Yes.
no.
I've seen it twice, as a matter of fact.
Twice, really?
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Scaramouche.
I'll say.
Oh no, I take that back. I didn't see it twice. My uncle saw it twice. I
Oh.
saw Into the Spider-Verse twice. Just felt like I saw it twice.
All right, I'm
I
going.
couldn't remember which movie I'd seen twice.
That's awesome. That's a sign of our age.
God, it is, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say the Rolling Stones.
The Rolling
The
Stones,
Rolling
of course, the
Stones.
Rolling Stones,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Number 15 on the list.
Well, I would have put them higher. I don't like them
I
that
would've
much,
too.
but I would have put them higher. Weird.
Right.
You just haven't listened to enough Rolling Stones, man.
I mean, there's a lot to
Stones.
like. I just can't stand Mick Jagger. It's just. I
What?
can't.
I'm Jay.
It just sounded like
I'm Jay.
like he's just bouncing around with his big dumb face. I don't know. I can't do it.
You're thinking of the Start Me Up Mick Jagger.
Right.
I hate it.
Now right. Now I'm gonna go with Taylor Swift, the only person actively selling music nowadays against everything else. Go ahead.
Of course. Tay-Tay, she's shaking it off at number 17. Very good.
Oh,
right.
well, lower than I thought it would be. I guess
Yeah.
the heyday is truly over.
Yeah.
That's right. The heyday for Tay-Tay.
Right?
All right, because Dark Side of the Moon was on the charts for so freaking long, I have to think Pink Floyd's on this
Oh.
list somewhere.
You would have to think that. And you'd be right. Number 8 on the list is Pink Floyd.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon was like, what, number one for like 30 years or some weird thing of all-time record
Well, it was
sales?
on the Billboard charts for 30 years. I don't know if it was maybe it was number 1 because people kept buying it.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
it
some
was.
weird thing like that. It's a great album.
Then they had to change the method of measurement, I think, and say, all right, now it's just albums
Yeah.
released in the last
Right.
year
Even
or something.
even though that had that terrible Money song on it, that's still a really great album.
Hey!
That
Sorry.
song.
It's a great song.
Hate that song.
Great song.
It's sound
Great song.
New
effects.
car,
Ching,
caviar,
ching, ka-ka-ching.
4-star daydream. Think I'll
Ching.
buy me a football
Chick,
team.
ching, ching. Here's all the sounds we got. Hey, everybody. Bob brought in a freaking cash register. Capture all the Foley work you can because we're making a song out of it. I hate it. Anyway.
All
Done away?
right, so I always try to pull from my own experiences and memories. I remember growing up, my dad, he had a select few albums
Sandbagging.
on the vinyl. Also had a record player in his car.
Sandbag.
Right, and I do remember digging through, and I remember the Pink Floyd albums.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
Sandbagging.
And also
Yeah.
remember some Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah,
And
sandbagging.
I'm thinking they are somewhere in there.
Yeah, sandbag.
They are somewhere in there. They're even higher than Pink Floyd. They're number 6 on the list.
Nice. Good job, Dad.
Madonna.
Ooh.
You
Wow.
hear, I
No.
didn't do any sandbagging. Did you, hear
did
that?
not do any sandbagging,
No.
Scott. Madonna, number 4 on the list.
I didn't think I was sandbagging. I thought I was,
Material girl up there.
sharing my life experience.
I know. That's what I thought too.
I'm
I
trying to
enjoyed it.
intimidate the witness, Your Honor.
Then fine. If you're gonna go with Madonna, then I gotta go with her. How about some Elton John?
Elton with her what? I'm curious.
I
about,
don't know. For some reason, whenever I think of Elton John, I imagine Madonna and Elton John hanging out, and
Her pointy boobs, he meant to say, is what
but
I
I
meant
did.
to say.
But I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to be accused of sandbagging. I was going to make a little anecdote, but I didn't want to do that.
Elton John, Tiny Dancing at number 5 on this list.
Damn.
Nice.
Damn.
Nice.
Okay. Good job, Mom.
Someone
Elton
saved
John.
his life tonight, by the way.
Let's see.
And sorry seems to be the hardest word.
I wonder if someone will remake or someone will redo the words for "Candle in the Wind" when he dies. That's what they should.
Oh God, I hope not.
do. Yeah, that's what.
Oh,
happen.
God, I
And
hope
it seems
so.
to me you wrote a song and called it "Candle in the Wind."
And you used it every time anyone died or the breeze came in. All right, let's do. I'm gonna say the Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys. That's an
good.
interesting
That's a
poll.
good one.
Gotta be right.
My dad had those, I believe, as well.
No,
he
the top
didn't. That was my
40
mom.
has to be in the top 40.
Hold on.
Has to be.
Wait for it. The Beachy Boys. Brian Wilson made some huge bank. You can't tell me did he own other songs as well? Maybe that was his claim to fame.
His daughter's Nancy Wilson. That's cool.
It is.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find where they are on the list.
Wow.
Because
Do you have a search?
they are below. They're even below 50. Yeah.
Wow.
They're like at about 65.
How is that
They
even
only
a
sold
thing?
100 million. About 100 million. Actually, it's funny. They are. Yeah, they're low enough on the list that it just rates them at 100 million.
That's wild. I would have thought higher as well.
I would have. Well, all right. This is for me.
Oh no.
This is for our winner.
Congratulations.
How about
You're
some
a winner.
Garth? How about some Garth Brooks?
Hey, the
Is he
party-
on there because he was always he owned it for a while.
Contest is
Garth
over.
Brooks.
Oh, Garth
Yeah,
Brooks.
Garth Brooks is number 18. Do you want to know the rest of the list really quick?
Yeah, tell us just the top 10. I think 40 is a lot.
Well, there's only 3 left in the top 10 that you
Oh.
can get. How about I go to top 20?
Yeah, top 20.
Rihanna, Eminem, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, AC/DC, ABBA, Garth Brooks, The Eagles, and Billy Joel.
Really?
And the Eagles. That was the other ones that were in my dad's collection. AC/DC, ABBA, and Eagles.
Welcome to the Hotel California. It's a lovely place. Such a
was
lovely
Aerosmith
face.
in there and Phil Collins?
No.
Phil Collins, actually right back to back. Phil Collins was 22, Aerosmith 23.
They're right there next to each other. That's awesome.
Right there next to each other.
No Beyonce in there?
Aerosmith after you said, what's that?
Is Beyonce in there?
Queen Bee is on here at number 42.
42. Wow, okay. The hype leads me to think she'd be higher. But I don't believe the hype. Well, the important thing is, Dave, you won, dude. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Good luck
Thanks,
with the
guys.
snow today. Yeah, be safe out there and not too cold and all that. I should have told him he had to email you. Email him, coverville@gmail.com. There you go. No, Oingo Boingo's not on there.
Gaga 33.
Where's this list at?
Where's Oingo
It is
Boingo?
on
Is Oingo
30,
Boingo?
no Oingo Boingo at all on
All
this
right.
list, sadly. They should be higher. Sorry,
Yeah. It's too
sorry
bad.
TVZ Gun, if you're listening.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Where'd you get this list? I'm curious about.
It's from Wikipedia. It is called the list of best-selling music artists, and it both lists their certified platinum or triple
That's why I
platinum.
did okay on this one, because this is a Wikipedia contest and not some weird name the top 10
Yes.
on BuzzFeed.
It's not based on It's not based on speculation or opinion. They also have the total certified units. So, for example, the Beatles are at 272 million certified units, but their claimed sales are between 500 and 600 million.
I played bass for the certified units in
The
94.
certified units.
Yeah.
I have one certified unit.
They were pretty good. Certified, qualified, USDA approved unit.
Bona fide.
Brian Dunaway, the pleasure has been ours. We missed you Monday. We're glad to have you back.
Oh, I know. It was a bummer.
Yeah.
But here we are. Hey, I missed you on the Boop Show Monday, too.
Yeah,
so,
that
I mean,
sucked.
We all had things, didn't we?
Yeah, the whole day got weird. Today's going to get real weird, but for now, calm before the storm. Let me just double check, make sure there's no wedding update. No wedding updates, birth updates. It says here, feels like I have to. Oh, no, still the poop one. Okay, we're good. We're good. No new news is good news. Brian Dunaway, everybody. He is the Brian Dunaway on Twitter, and you can find him on shows like The Boop Show. And he's still doing Comics Coast to Coast. Yeah, it's still happening?
Yeah, we got another show tomorrow night and a couple more lined up, kicking off the 2019. We used to take a little break, but we're back as of tomorrow.
Well, if you guys like comics, web comics in particular, I think you might really enjoy that show. So go check it out. Brian,
Good time.
suck it. We'll talk to you later.
Well, thank you.
Bye.
Did I totally skip over the fact that you said that Nancy Wilson was Brian Wilson's daughter?
You said yes. You're right. She is. Is she not?
No, I did not say. I didn't. I hope I didn't say.
No,
yes,
you
she
did
is,
say.
but
You
she's
did
not.
say she was. Are you sure?
No. Oh God, of course I'm sure. Carney Wilson from Wilson Phillips is Brian Wilson's
I thought
daughter.
Nancy Wilson was his daughter. And then you
no,
said
Nancy
you're right.
Wilson and Nancy Wilson of Heart are sisters, but have no relation to Brian Wilson.
So chat room. See, there it is. Jeannie confirms it. I said that, and you
did
went.
say
You're
that?
right. He is. She is. You said.
Oh, God, no, jeez, come on. Strike that from the record, because yeah, no.
I love it.
No.
Yeah.
This is something that I know, and I was busy scrolling through the list. I think when
I need to
when
ask.
you
I
said
need to
that.
ask weirder questions like, "Hey Brian, do you have 3 testicles?" Yes, that's correct. That is totally
yeah,
correct.
exactly. Ask me while I'm looking through a list and See how I do with that.
Exactly. Okay.
Good Lord.
That's pretty funny. Let's now not do that anymore and instead do this right here.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
Hey, it's the news, brought to you by
Coverville. Today, we're celebrating a couple birthdays, a couple Bobs. First off, Robert Palmer, who passed away several years ago, 15 years ago, I think. He would have been 70 this month, and the lights are on and no one's home and your will is not your own. You're going to have to face it. You're addicted to Coverville, so you better listen to that. By the way, Robert Palmer, he's the father of President Palmer from 24. I don't know if you knew that.
Shut up.
Also, Bobby Brown, who's Chris Brown's dad.
Yeah.
We'll be celebrating with a little bit of New Edition and Bobby Brown, a very short set of New Edition of Bobby Brown, because I don't have a lot of great covers of Bobby Brown.
He's also kind of a dick, Bobby Brown is.
He is kind of a dick, by all accounts.
Most accounts.
So anyway, that's coming up at Coverville, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Listen, you may not like Bobby Brown, but you'll like covers of Bobby Brown, right?
Yeah, of
right.
course. Of course you would.
Mostly Robert Palmer.
Robert Palmer have more than just that one song?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case
That's him?
of loving you. That was him.
I had no idea.
Simply Irresistible.
Oh, Simply Irresistible.
Yeah.
Nobody found where the money went, or however it goes.
Exact, something like that. Yep, Every Kind of People.
And the only reason that other one even is in my head is because he used the same like dancing ladies for it, didn't he?
He kind of did, yeah. He did
Yeah.
that for a while with the Addicted to Love and Simply Irresistible. I think there was one more right around that time that he used the same set of heavily made up but poorly trained on how to act like you're playing a musical instrument.
Yeah. And he was part of Power Station, which I forgot even was a thing.
He totally was, yeah.
There you go. Well, speaking of power stations,
Mm-hmm.
extreme weather is so bad in some parts of the country that even the U.S. Postal Service won't be going out. I guess we kind of covered this, but we'll get into a little more detail here.
Yeah.
Neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night stays these couriers from their swift completion of their appointed rounds, except for extreme cold, it turns out. The U.S. Postal Service on Tuesday on Facebook said because they were predicting the deteriorating weather conditions in the Midwest, delivery will be suspended for several areas. The list of regions and states most affected: Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, parts of Kansas, Missouri, Montana, and Nebraska. I wonder if this hit the Phoenix Pearl Tea deal.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Gwen is staying warm, but hopefully she's got some tea to keep her warm.
Yeah, because she's in a mountain town thing, little mountain town.
Yeah, well, yeah, so...
Scary. I don't like that.
Oh, because it's parts of Kansas, Missouri, Montana, and Nebraska, so parts of Montana, but I'm still guessing that, I don't know. I don't know where she is in relation to this,
Well, here's
cold
Here's
wave.
what's crazy. I was texting Wendy this morning because she's in Minnesota, and she said, she says the cities aren't too bad compared to up north. She says right now we're at negative 48. That's still pretty bad. She says, no biggie, haha. Then she says, Adam wore shorts yesterday. He's a werewolf or something. And then she says, I haven't been outside for 36 hours, so cabin fever is a real threat, not the cold. Then she says, P.S. It will jump to 40 degrees above Fahrenheit on Saturday. That's an 80-degree difference within the space of 3 days. That's crazy.
Wow, that is crazy.
It's almost like climate change is real. Weird.
I'm just, yeah, right.
And that there's a difference between that and weather.
Right, exactly. Oh, wow, interesting. Yeah, I'm just visualizing Cold Miser and Heat Miser battling it out up there.
Wrestling and pudding. That's what I want to see.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Stop motion, Heat Miser, Cold Miser, wrestling in a big vat
Just
of pudding.
wrestling in pudding.
Yeah. Put that on the
With
docket.
the misfit toys all on the side waving money. Ah, come on! I got $10 on Cold Miser.
I mean, this is the
Feels
kind of
like it needs
cold.
to be drawn.
Yeah, no kidding. This is the kind of cold, though, if it stayed and became consistent, we'd have Snowpiercer trains. Like, that's the kind of world that is.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because you can't go out in that, or else the minute your skin gets exposed to like 70 below air, you just crust up and fall off. Like, you're done.
Yeah, right.
It's not good.
No, and there's people, I mean, they're warning you, at least they were on the Today Show, If you go outside, make sure you have goggles on because your eyeballs will freeze if you're out there for too long.
That's horrible.
Can you imagine? I mean, that seems like the worst.
Oh, can you imagine?
The worst thing I could possibly imagine is having my eyeballs freeze.
Isn't this colder? This is colder than if people go to Everest, isn't it? 70 degrees below? I don't know what Everest average temperature is. Let's see. Top of Everest temperature. Okay, let's see what the Googler says. Yeah, about negative 33 Fahrenheit. It's warmer at the top of Everest on average than it is in Minnesota right now.
Oof.
That's bazonkers, man. Do you remember that scene in Day After Tomorrow? Day After Tomorrow, where the airplane or the helicopters got into that little vortex of cold and the whole thing just went. Everyone went into cryogenic nightmare freeze.
I do, yeah. That's what it's like.
It's no good.
I'm just picturing Arnold Schwarzenegger walking around going, freeze.
Okay,
people in solid blocks of ice.
Which would you rather have for the end of the world? Extreme cold or extreme heat? Which would you rather go through?
Oh, jeez. Well, I guess extreme cold because
you kind of just fall asleep eventually in it.
You can't. Right. I mean, you can't. You can bundle up and sort of protect yourself from extreme cold. There's only so many clothes you can take off. You can only get stripped down to your skivvies to cool off for so long. So I think extreme cold I'd prefer.
I think I'd prefer the cold because even if it gets so bad you're going to die, when hypothermia and frostbite and all that stuff settles in, it's actually kind of calming and you fall asleep. Your body goes into hibernation because all the blood
You'll be miserable either way, but you'll be miserable for a shorter amount of time with the cold.
Yeah, I think overnight you'll just die in the cold. You'll look like, Jack Nicholson in the morning at the end of that movie.
At the end of The Shining?
Yeah, which is
ice crystals forming on your nose.
It's a great way to live.
Yeah.
All right, also in the news, we got this here story about singer Kelsey Carter. Are you familiar with the work of Kelsey Carter?
I am totally not familiar with Kelsey Carter.
Neither am I. I feel like I've missed the Kelsey Carter train. Yeah. But apparently she's popular in some circles. She's a singer, and she got a tattoo on her face. Now you might say, "Oh, what'd you get? Like a cool tribal tattoo or some kind of deal like that?" No, she got a portrait of former One Direction singer Harry Styles on her face.
Wow.
Now I feel like if you're a singer looking for a successful singing career, one of the last things you need on your face is a potential competitive singer of some other ilk on your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that weird?
Is she hoping that she's going to get to open up for? Can she do this and make Harry Styles sing by wiggling her cheeks?
I don't know. What's Harry Styles doing anyway?
Harry Styles?
Yeah.
I said Harry Styles.
No, you said Harry. You said Harry. Okay. Is he doing his? He's just acting now, or is he? What's he up to?
Yeah, I mean, he's no longer part of One Direction. He's on his own direction.
Does he do solo business and all that? Probably.
I have no idea. Even I may not follow Kelsey Carter, but I follow Harry Styles even less.
Well, she also shared a photo of herself.
I've heard of Harry Styles.
She shared a photo of herself with tattoo artist Romeo Lacoste. I don't know how you say it. Who has tattooed celebrities such as Ariana Grande and Kendrick Lamar. All right, that's great.
It's not a very good tattoo either. If I look at that, I don't immediately say, "Oh, that looks like Harry Styles."
Let me take a look here.
It looks like somebody who needs a comb. And I know Harry Styles always looks like he needs a comb, but it just looks like generic.
Oh yeah, that's not very good.
Dude, what needs a comb?
I don't think that's good at all.
No.
Why would you do that to your face? Why would you do this?
Much more pointed nose, like a sharper nose. This one's he's got kind of a pig nose on this one. On her tattoo, it's like pig-nosed Harry Styles.
Why would you do this? For serious?
And thinner lips. I mean, it's almost. Did the tattoo artist have a picture of Harry Styles for reference, or just doing it by memory?
He's supposed to be Wait, there he is. He's supposed to be famous. He does all these famous people.
Sure.
He doesn't have any room left. Look at him. He's all tattooed up to the point that he's going to have to go full face here in a minute.
Yeah.
You didn't have your room
All right,
left.
let's say
Yeah.
this is a horrible what would you do, but you have to have a celebrity
On my
tattoo
face.
on your face.
How popular? I mean, do we have a threshold of popularity for the celebrity, or can it be anybody? That's
No,
just
anybody
known?
you want.
Oh, geez.
That's a funny line in the sand you're drawing, Scott. Like,
Because
how popular does this celebrity have to be?
Because for me,
you
it would.
said you would have Tom Merritt, like.
Well, it would
tattooed.
be. It would be. I wouldn't say Tom, but I would have somebody who's a lot more obscure, like.
Really?
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? You're gonna have to have it the rest of your life. You really want it to be some flash in the pan freaking pop artist or something shitty like that. I want it to be someone who's like Sam Elliott. He's never gonna be top tier. He was never top tier. He's never gonna be top tier. But damn it, he's Sam Elliott, and that's kind of cool. So I would do that, or I would do like
Wouldn't be not Tom Hardy, huh?
No. No, I wouldn't do Tom Hardy. I mean, I like Tom Hardy. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think somebody else who... It would have to be somebody with a lot of... It's mostly character actors I'm thinking of. Like, old school, like, always recognize them in things kind of dudes.
So could I do... if it's a celebrity of any level,
Yeah.
we're even saying a celebrity of no level,
Yeah.
I would have my own face tattooed on my face.
Really?
Because if I've gotta have somebody tattooed on my face, why not have myself tattooed on my face? Just as like the inception of tattoos.
I guess so. That's how I would approach this. Is I would want something that was at least ironic or
Yes, it would have to be funny. It would have to
self-referential.
be ironic. It would have to be.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
couldn't
think
do
of
it seriously and
somebody
say I want Frank Sinatra tattooed on my face.
else. Like Ganondorf from like a Zelda
And of course,
game.
by the way, I mean
Yeah.
it goes without saying that the tattoo of my face on my face would have a tattoo on his face as well.
Oh, you go as deep as
All
you
the way
could.
down. Yeah, you go as deep as the.
Deep as the resolution of your little tattoo pen will take you.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, like a little mirror. Well, anyway, good luck to singer Kelsey Carter. Never heard of her.
Yes.
Boy, there were a lot of Kelseys born right around the time this girl was born. I know a lot of Kelseys in that age range, like in the early 20s. What happened? What was going on 20 years ago with Kelsey?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer was popular.
Yeah.
Frasier was the most popular show on television.
That's
so
right.
Kelsey's
Frasier was huge.
Kelsey's were huge. Do we have an estimated year that she's going to start regretting this?
Yeah, 2019 is, I think, of the year.
I think you're right.
I think that's right now is when that happens. She's a New Zealand singer, by the way. Might be why we haven't heard from her, but I don't know who that is. I feel like I should know her because her Twitter account and her Instagram accounts are gigantic. She's got
really?
hundreds
I
of
was going to
thousands
say,
of
I'll bet
followers.
this is the well. You know, they've blown up because of this. I mean, I would say that this is the most famous thing that Kelsey Carter has ever done.
Probably right. I'm trying to think if there's a song I would know. Let me just take a look at her YouTube channel real quick. Okay, let's see if this is something we've heard. Okay, some kind of guitar business. I'm gonna skip ahead. Oh my gosh, YouTube, you're just choking on your own vomit here.
Song just like she's singing. Ooh, baby.
Ooh, ooh. Here she is.
Wanna take a dirty picture, send it to your mind.
Weird. That video.
I don't mind that at all. It's
yeah,
kind of like
the video's all 70s looking. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
You guys can
All
look at
right,
this later.
I'm gonna watch some Kelsey Carter lately.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a song called Harry.
Oh, is it
I
really?
think she may have a problem.
Oh, we
Yeah.
got an issue. There's issues.
Yeah, I think.
Wait a minute, I
we
heard
might
about this
have
too. By the way, Shaggy Maha in the chat reminds me of something I read this morning, and I forgot to bring it up here. Ariana Grande got a tattoo that says barbecue grill in Japanese. It's a misspelling. And it may be this same guy, for all I know, that did it, because he's famous for doing her tattoos as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, BioCow. See, now BioCow gets it. I'd get a tattoo of Don Knotts as a fish. That's the kind of
right,
stuff you would do. That's what I would
the
want.
Mr. Limpet tattoo.
Yes. Sure. Obscure, weird, out of the ballpark kind of stuff. Not Harry Styles.
Maybe a Mandy version of Nicolas Cage on your face.
Yeah. It's T minus when does he turn 30 that anyone gives a crap about Harry Styles, I'm telling you. And you're gonna regret it. You're gonna look at it and go, oh my gosh, my face! What have I done? I put Harry Styles on my face. But if you put the limpet fish on there, that'll never get old.
Yeah, right.
Everyone will always ask you questions about it.
I think that's totally great.
BioCow, you win. All right. Here's a story about a Florida man.
Right, Kevin Bacon is Hollow Man. Perfect. Done.
Let's do that. That's even a better idea.
Cheney.
Florida man thought he stole opioids because those are popular. You know the opioids? You heard about the opioid crisis? That's a thing. I've never had an opioid. Or actually, I guess I have. I had a... I forgot what it was called, but when I had my neck surgery and they took out that lump and they gave me Loratab, and that's technically an opioid.
Right. I've had hydrocodone. I've had Percocet.
Yeah, that's an opioid as well. Here's how you pronounce it.
Opioids.
That's how you say it, opioids.
Opioids.
I'd love some right now.
I have the best opioids. People tell me, believe me. I have the best opioids.
I've got pockets full of them.
A lot of people have told me I have the best opioids.
Anyone who says I don't, fake news.
People.
So anyway, thought he had a bunch of opioids. Thought that's what he stole. He ate a bunch of them. Turns out they're laxatives.
Oh, poop.
Yeah. Poop is right. The Philly Pinellas County Sheriff's Office arrested 56-year-old Peter Hans Emery Jr. on a felony charge of petite theft.
Aww.
Love that name.
That sounds so cute.
I know. Oh, what'd you take? Something tiny?
Aww. I just did a little petite theft.
Investigators said he was caught on camera opening a victim's lockbox, taking a pill bottle, and dumping several pills into his hand before walking away. Authorities said the pill bottle had a label on it which read hydrocodone acetaminophen. The bottles actually contained Equate Gentle Laxatives. I think Equate is a Target brand, is it? Or is it the
Equate,
Walmart?
Really?
Walmart
Could
brand.
Be.
One of those two brands, yeah. It's their house brand. Anyway, Sheriff's Office said Emery threw away the pills after he learned they were not those. Emery, how did he learn? The hard way. He pulled the pills out of the trash to show deputies the evidence. He had 2 prior theft convictions on his record, and now there's a new one. Petite theft. Petite theft. You know what that is? That's a gnome rogue in World of Warcraft. That's a petite theft.
Ah, yes, a petite theft.
Hello. All right, final news, and then we'll take our break.
And then you beam into blue.
Let me check the text here, just make sure everything's good. We're good. Okay. All right. No pro. Okay. Good. A man found a hand grenade, and then he brought it to Taco Bell, like you do.
Oh yeah, well, sure.
Wouldn't you though? I mean, first thing you do.
Is it a grenade grande? Grande grenade?
Well, it's made of the 7
You can just rearrange the letters in grande to spell grenade.
Yeah, when I asked for a grande burrito, they gave me a grenade burrito. Weird. Well, anyway, found this thing. Taco Bell was briefly closed as a result. Man brought the World War II era hand grenade to the eatery. Oh, I wonder if it was one of those German ones. You know, with the sticks? They're like the big sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
right, like
cool.
not the one that you pull a pin. Right.
Oh, those are awesome. I love
Guess
those.
you need an extra E to rearrange the letters in grenade to spell grande, or vice versa.
Sure. Or, yes, barbecue grill in Japanese.
Yes.
Anyway, so he does this, goes in there. It's in Tampa. He discovered it Saturday while using a magnet to search for items in some water in a neighboring Akawawa. In neighboring Akawawa, is that a town? Akawawa?
Akawawa.
Aklawaha.
I know Ocala. I've been to Ocala.
That is probably an old Indian name.
Totally,
Native American name.
Yeah.
But
Totally
it
Native American, yeah.
Sounds ridiculous hearing me say it. Anyway, he picked up the old grenade, put it in his trunk, and drove to the Taco Bell. Once he got there, he called authorities and told them what he had. Why the Taco Bell?
I don't know.
The bomb squad responded and evacuated the eatery as a precaution. Oh, that's being generous, I think, calling it an eatery. But that's fine. I guess you eat there.
You eat there.
Eatery, though.
I'll stand behind that.
Eatery.
You eat at Taco Bell.
Eatery, though.
Sure.
That's usually used in fancier discussion, isn't it? Oh, yes, there's a new eatery opening up downtown. I don't know if you've heard. Like, it's usually used in a much more posh sort of...
I feel like eatery is more casual than restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, he stopped by an eatery on his way home and picked up. It's just a...
Yeah, but then if somebody says, oh, that eatery was Taco Bell, and you're like, oh, yeah, don't call it an eatery. There's something about Taco Bell and eatery that don't go together. I don't know what it is. It's just in my head. It's all me. I admit it. Brian's 100% right here, but I can't get it out of my head.
An eatery.
Anyway, they came, they removed the grenade and said it would be properly handled. Who knows if it was even still able to explode or do anything. Probably not.
Right.
It's pretty old.
Might just
be a dud at this point.
Or
I actually have a grenade.
dud.
I have a World War II grenade somewhere my grandpa left after he passed. It was it's a full-size grenade, but it was hollow. I can't remember what they did. They hollowed it out and made it into a pen holder or something weird. So you could put it on. He'd have it on his desk, and he would put pens in the top of it. Where the
pencil
clip
sharpener would
usually
be
is.
great. Like
That'd even be better, right? That'd be cool.
USB drive.
Yeah, I'd be into it. But I just something about grenades are cool to me. I mean, I
They
don't
kind
like
of are, yeah.
the
There's
destruction
something
they do
about
is
seeing
bad.
one, even if you know it's a dud,
Mm-hmm.
there's still that little freaks me out kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And even when you know they're not, like even the hollowed out one, it felt weird holding it.
Yeah,
Like you're like, ooh, this is weird. He also had a mortar shell that was hollowed out that he brought home from the war.
That's cool.
Big old freaking thing. He put a little stand on it so you could like, I don't know what he used it for. He was weird that way. He had a lot of that stuff. That's your stories.
Once you get more than 5 of those kind of things, they put you on a national registry, though.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Just keep an eye on you.
Yeah, you'll end up in an NSA database somewhere.
He collects old World War II explosives. Oh, really? Okay. What's his name? And what's his address? All right, good. Thanks.
Yeah, write all that stuff down. How's that guy doing that? Oh, no, he died. Never mind.
I just like that little exchange right there. What's that guy doing? Oh, never mind. He died. Like this guy doesn't even warrant a mention of who he is.
I don't even know who I'm talking about. Like right now, you'd have to pry it out of my dead cold hands. I don't even remember. I don't even know who I'm at.
And what's that guy doing? Oh, he's dead.
Oh, he's dead.
You know he's got death.
You know he has rigor mortis by now. Hold on.
That's awesome.
Checking texts. No, we're good.
Okay. All right.
Taking a break. When we come back, Nicole will be here. We'll do our recommendals for the week, and Tom will continue basking in his full-length pants in Hawaii because he's not here.
Sure.
Brian, will you play a song while we do that, or while we wait for that?
I will totally do that. And I'm not going to be able to tell you a whole lot about this band because the information I have is really limited. Now, I know that they are from Milan, Italy. However, they've got a very Japanese feel to them. And their name, Neve, Hokuto no Ket.
Whoa.
Exactly. Is a much more Japanese-sounding name than it is Italian. However, I'm loving this. They've even got a little cat that smiles with his eyes closed as their logo. They have a brand new EP called Clouds, and this is my working jam. This is like the stuff, instrumental, kind of electronically influenced, but a lot of analog instruments as well. This came out yesterday, brand new yesterday.
Whoa.
And this thing kicks butt, and it's on Bandcamp for Pay What You Want. Right?
Oh, my gosh.
How good is Pay What You Want? Pay What You Want is great. Listen to this and say, oh, I will give you all my money. Anyway, these guys are great. The new song is called Clouds. Check it out. Here is Nev.
All right, we'll be right back.
Every morning before Linda gets up, her mother mashes up a pill and stirs it into Linda's orange juice.
Why don't you kiss me like that?
As Shakespeare said, "Shit happens." This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the program. I informed Nicole earlier that she would be in early, and looks like she's there. I can't believe it's already Wednesday. I swear we just did this. We just had a Recommendals 5 minutes ago.
We did.
Doesn't it feel that way? It's weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it feels that way to her or not, but we're going to find out shortly, right after I push this button. Hey, Nicole Spag, doesn't it feel like we just did this like 5 minutes ago?
like 2 days ago.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's weird.
I love it though. I enjoy talking with you guys. So.
Oh, it's one of my favorite things we do all week is this recommendal
Me,
segment.
kind of not so much, but thanks.
Yeah, Brian hates it. He's always complaining. He sends me texts all night. Are we really doing that tomorrow? I'm like, Brian, we're doing it tomorrow. Suck
What
it
about
up.
changing Wednesdays up? Let's have a...
We get a different person in here. I mean, that's what he tells me. But Nicole, I go to bat for you every time, so don't worry. You're safe with
He
me.
does.
Thank you,
yeah.
Scott.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it.
You're
you know.
welcome.
How many years?
Careful.
10 years? Is it 10? No, it's not 10 yet.
No. How long have we known
We started
each other?
this in 2011.
How long have we known each
Yeah,
other, though?
Oh,
But,
God.
I met you at like the second Nerdtacular, or the second movie. I guess it was still called Nerdtacular back then. What was the second
2009.
movie? Spider? No,
09?
Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, that was 09,
Was
yep.
it Star Trek?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think, didn't we meet at New Media Expo when it was in...
Yes, we did. We totally did. The Vegas, the
No,
concert.
it wasn't Vegas. Didn't you go to the one in California?
It was Ontario. Right?
Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Did we meet there?
I probably like said.
I mean, if you were there,
I probably was like fangirling.
Yeah,
you.
she fangirled.
Yeah, that was hot shit back then.
Yeah, you were. Look out! Here
Now
comes
look
Brian.
at
Yeah, look at him now.
Now I'm just another podcaster.
Well, we've known each other for a long time. I feel like our first real foray was during your drive home with Patrick in your car back to Arizona, and that's where I
right.
finally got to sort of know you there. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was an
I
odd
was
experience.
so nervous. By the way, I was so nervous.
Were you really? You were nervous?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was.
Because I listened to a ton on the Instance.
Yeah.
So to me, you were this.
Yeah, but now,
Instance
like
guy.
everyone else, you've realized it's just a potato, like everybody
I know.
else.
We're all potatoes.
Yeah, everyone's a
know, yeah.
potato. Don't let us fool you guys listening at home.
It
Just
was
potatoes.
Our hopes were dashed on the rocks.
Yeah, they were.
Finally saw each other all in person.
Yeah, we're like, oh, well, okay, I guess we can deal with this.
Yeah, we could.
Well, it's my favorite thing to do is these recommendals. We're gonna do them now. We find things on streaming services. We recommend them for you to listen to or to watch at home. Stuff from Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, wherever we get it. And Brian, we'll start with you as we often do. Do you have any setup for your clip?
You know what? I don't, because I feel like it speaks for itself. I'll say that this is something that came out last year.
Oh,
and that's all I'll say.
That's nice.
And it's not a documentary.
All right, here you go. Playing it now.
Do you know what a night nanny is? Okay, you know what? Everybody does it. It's just like a regular nanny, except they come at night. You know, they stay over for a few weeks or a month, and they take care of the baby at night so mom and dad can get some sleep. It's no big deal.
I don't want a stranger in my house bonding with my newborn every night. It's like a Lifetime movie where the nanny tries to kill the family and the mom survives and she has to walk with a cane at the end.
Right, well, we had a night nanny.
I don't remember that.
Tully.
The reason you don't remember it is because she only came at night.
Greg, please tell me you didn't hire me one of those people.
You have a lot going on. Get over yourself. Call her. She comes highly recommended.
I have no idea what this is. It sounds funny though.
It's Tully, and I went through a very similar process with when I had Mateo because he never slept. He just didn't sleep, and I was desperate. I'm like, so I interviewed women. I'm like, I just want you to take care of him at night so I can sleep, and I couldn't find anyone. So I would have been all over a night nanny had I been able to find one.
Now, have you seen this film, or do you just know?
So I have not
Women's
seen the
Around Nightmares?
film, but I did spoil it for myself by reading an article about it because of what's going on in the movie and the twist in the movie. So I know what the twist is.
So it's Furiosa's in this movie, right?
Furiosa's in this. Charlize Theron, Charlize Theron. Mackenzie Davis plays the night nurse Tully that comes to help her. Mark Duplass and Ron Livingston, who you can finally realize are not the same person, play brothers. Charlize Theron's husband is Mark Duplass. No, I'm sorry. Husband is Ron Livingston, and his brother is Mark Duplass.
Got it. Is it Duplass? Duplass? I never know what to call those people.
I thought it was Duplass.
I just want to.
I have no idea.
I always call them Duplass, the Duplass brothers.
No.
I just want to make it clear. My son didn't. It wasn't he didn't sleep through the night. He didn't sleep
At all.
Like,
I remember this. Yeah.
we had the whole family running shifts with him. Like we didn't know until later that he had sensory issues, but it was all part of that. And I feel for anyone that has a baby that just doesn't sleep.
Right. Oh, she Mackenzie Davis. She's in that Blade Runner 2049.
She's in *Halt and Catch Fire*. She's the short-haired blonde programmer.
She's great, dude.
Awesome hot shit programmer.
Yeah.
This is a really good film. Really well done. I was also thinking about you, Nicole, because her son has sensitivity issues.
Oh, interesting.
And they use the Wilbarger protocol to brush his skin.
Fully brushed my son.
Yeah. So I was thinking, oh my God, I wonder if Nicole does this. So.
Oh, I did for a long time. And it did seem to help him when he was earlier. As kids get older, those sensory issues kind of lessen. You become dead to the world.
It kind of goes the other direction.
You know?
Oh God.
But that protocol that you're talking about is a proven. It doesn't work for all kids, but it is one of the things that actually did help us. That's kind of interesting. That's cool that they shine light on that.
Who's Tully?
Totally do.
Who's Tully?
Tully is
the night nurse.
The night nurse that comes to help and basically turns Charlize Theron's character's world around as far as helping her so that she can get some sleep and has her own secrets, I guess is the best way to say it.
I like Ron Livingston a lot. I think he's a hoot.
He's great. I know a lot of people really like that. This is the
Diablo
Cody, yeah.
So she also did young adult, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So when the article I read, they said that this is kind of interesting because it really is her growth as a human. So Juno's like her as a teenager, and then young adult, and then now we have Juno, or not Juno, but Tully.
Tully. It does feel like, I mean, because I was confusing it too. I thought, oh yeah, I remember hearing about. I thought we watched this movie, but it was young adult that we had watched, which is another kind of similar character for Charlize.
I almost feel like if you want to get like the flow of it, watch all of them, like Juno, young adult, then Tully.
Yeah. It's like her trilogy.
But don't watch Jennifer's Body.
No, I hear that's not good. She wrote that.
Also,
she did that.
Yeah.
She did that. And by the way, all these movies that we're talking about, not only written by Diablo Cody, but also directed by Jason Reitman. So these are all Jason Reitman films.
They're buddies.
Anyway, this is streaming at HBO or on HBO, so I would definitely recommend you check it out. Charlize was nominated for a Best Actress award at the Golden Globes for this film, and you'll watch it and you'll see exactly why, because she's really, really good in this.
She's always good. I love her.
It went around in the mom circles because of the raw truth of what motherhood is.
That was a big controversy because... Well, the mom circles were also saying, "Oh, you should be up late bonding with your child. Get up in the middle of the night and bond with your child, not hiring a night nurse to do it."
Unless you walk in that woman's shoes, shut up.
Nice voice, Brian. You got
Thank
there.
You. That was my angry mom voice.
Yeah, did a good one.
Where's my pumpkin spice latte?
She also she directed and co-created and wrote a bunch of that One Mississippi show with Tig Notaro. That's a fantastic little show, by the way. Yeah, cool. If anyone's not seen One Mississippi, it's like
One Mississippi.
Gosh, I don't even know how to describe it. But Tig Notaro is a stand-up comedian. She's the one that got.
That's that show.
Yeah, she's the one that had breast cancer and went through all kinds of horrible stuff. And she's a really interesting kind of deadpan type comic. She's really funny. Anyway, it's just kind of her spending time with family and friends in Mississippi, and it's a riot. I love it. I think it's really funny and kind of. I don't know how to describe it.
Did they cancel that show?
I think it just ran its run. Well, Louis C.K. had some production.
He was an executive producer.
Yeah, but I don't think that. I think they are. The show may still be going, but there was some talk that they only ever planned 2 seasons, so maybe that's why. I don't know. But it's great. It's a little dark. It's very funny. Well, Mississippi is a good thing, and Diablo Cody's all over that. So there's that.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, check this out. Tully's great.
Nice. Here's a clip. See if you guys can figure this out. It's going to be obvious, but I binged this week, so here you go. Or last week, I guess.
He didn't look like anybody's notion of somebody who would tear apart young girls.
My name is Ted Bundy. I've never spoken to anybody about this. I am looking for an opportunity to tell the story as best I can.
A person of this type chooses his victim for a reason. Possession, control.
All right. It's
I have no idea.
So Netflix put up a new documentary. It's called
Ted Bundy.
The Conversation with a Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 4 episodes, an hour each, so it's a 4-hour documentary basically. It's a series, but it's, like I say, four episodes. It's like a 4-hour documentary.
Okay.
That is the crux of it is they have all these tapes from these interviews that he did in 1980 while he was in prison. But all around it are all the other documentary sort of stuff you would do to talk about the killings, his life, where he was at the time, and all this. So the tape, it's not just him talking on a tape. The tapes just sort of inform what's happening. They have a lot of old trial footage and some other stuff. And the reason this was piqued interest in me, when I was growing up, this was a big deal here.
Yeah,
I
it was a
remember
big deal here in Colorado too.
Colorado as well, yeah. You guys, in fact, it's you guys that let him escape twice. Well done.
I know. What are you gonna do?
Jeez, we kept him nice and tight and held up in the Utah State Prison, but he starts up in the Pacific Northwest in Washington. He grew up near there, and then that's where the killing spree began. Women started disappearing, but he wasn't really suspected for a long time. He ends up in Utah, goes to the University of Utah as a law student, and while here, ends up with more victims, and goes through a series of them. And there's some that are still unknown, like the guy. There are only 33 confirmed murders, and some say that could be in the 100 range.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wow.
But then, so that happened a bunch here, and I knew someone who was one of his. In fact, she's in the documentary. I had spoken to her before. This lady who was abducted, and she got away. She's the only one that got away ever. And she's still around talking about it now in this documentary. And it's really harrowing. And she also, where it happens to her, the mall she's at, the place he takes her, I grew up in that whole area there. So it freaks me out to even hear it. And then he goes to Florida. Goes to Colorado, kills 2 more people. Colorado loses him the first time. He goes out a window in the courtroom place and runs off into the hills, is gone for 7 days. They find him. They bring him back. He then gets out again. This is spoilery a little if you're really interested in this documentary, but he gets out again. It's a historical record, so I don't know if it's a spoiler, but he gets out again, and that's when he goes to Florida. And again, we're in the 70s and 80s, early 80s here. There's no internet. There's no national tracking system. We don't have any of those advantages. DNA evidence, none of that stuff works yet. So what you end up with is, if you escape, he can go on a whole nother crime spree and nobody's connecting the dots because you're in the whole other end of the country. We're a much smaller country now than we were back then. So it's kind of mind-boggling to watch this. But he ends up in Florida and kills 2 more people, possibly more. Again, they don't know the total number. All young girls, all a certain type, age, certain kind of hair, all this stuff. Meanwhile, he's this handsome, extremely ridiculously well-spoken person. That's the most aggravating thing when I listen to it, is he is clearly very intelligent, very well-spoken, could have been a lawyer easily if he wasn't a psycho. And he denies all of this. All of this he denies right up until his execution date. And so the tapes aren't him admitting anything, but the tapes are him saying, well, if I did do it, here's what I do. Kind of like the O.J. Simpson thing where he wrote that book saying, if I did do it, or if I did it, this is how I would have done it. So he describes this stuff in like horrendous detail. And you're like, well, dude, of course you did it. You just described it in detail. Oh, no, innocent. He was sure he was innocent. He had all these fans who thought he was innocent. And right up until the end, right before he's electrocuted in 89.
Where did he get elected? What state
Florida.
convicted him?
Turns out Florida is the one that really got him. Like Florida had the most evidence. Florida had the most, like a whole bunch of reasons why that happened.
He was fine until he became a Florida man, basically.
He was tried for other murders as well, back to Colorado and other stuff. It's just that was the one that got him first, and that's the one that got the execution rights or whatever. Anyway, but right up until the end, and then he finally admits everything. Just like, yeah, there's 33 that I know of. I think some of the bodies are buried here. If you look east of the whatever, you'll find some of these bodies. Guy's a frickin' wackadoo. Now, here's the weird thing. I'm watching that documentary in the same week that Zac Efron thing comes out, the trailer for it, which is a dramatic retelling of the whole thing. And I'm a little bugged by the tone of that trailer, but whatever. Hopefully they do a good job here. But here's the thing. I didn't know this, but the guy who made this documentary is the guy who wrote and directed the film. Same guy. So he's busy.
Oh.
He's just Ted Bundy all day. That's all he does.
So it's like a James Cameron thing. Like, all right, I'm going to do the movie Titanic, but then I'm also going to do like a documentary about exploring the Titanic.
There you go. We were actually trying to think of an example the other day, and I wish you would have been there because I couldn't think of one. That's totally it. You're totally right. I think it was the reverse order for Cameron.
Sure.
But still, like, just this guy must be so crazy obsessed with the story that he's like, I'm going to make a movie as well. But anyway, if you like true crime or documentary or historical stuff like this is really interesting and good. It's a really good documentary, very well put out. It does not glorify him at all. It puts him exactly where he should be as a blip in history. And there's a lot of lessons in there about police work and about, where we are now in terms of DNA and other technology that helps us solve these sorts of crimes, and just kind of generally why the 70s was so heavily influenced by multiple cases of serial murder. Like, that was the decade to be a serial murderer, and it was because we're at this crossroads of infamy and technological advancement, and it wasn't quite ready to be advanced enough to stop them, but we were infamous enough to make that part of it. So you really get a sense of that. And they talk about, Manson and a few other people just sort of in passing. But the 70s was the time. And they talk about how, well, they don't talk about it, but I was noticing by looking at stats and stuff, serial killing just doesn't happen hardly anymore. Or it gets stopped with one or two before somebody can really go on their little rampage. It really hasn't been since Jeffrey Dahmer we've had some major one in the States. If anything, we've just had old cases come up and go, oh, we think we finally have a guy. So
there's a connection between the cases.
Yeah. And I find that kind of stuff really uber fascinating, and the kind of police work involved and detective work and courtroom stuff is interesting. So anyway, if you're at all interested in that, you like documentary, especially some of the recent Netflix stuff, which has been really good in my opinion, this is one of those. So
did either of you watch it was like maybe late 1980s made for TV movie about Ted Bundy? That is the one that sticks in my head as a kid.
Was that that was NCIS
Mark Harmon.
Mark Harmon. Yeah, I was trying to remember. It wasn't. I want to say Valerie Bertinelli was one of the.
She was the victim.
Scared the crap out of me.
I think she's the one that got away. She's the one that played the girl that got away. I think
that's right. Yeah.
And there's a scene in that they filmed that all in Utah, or a lot of it. And there's a scene where he's hanging out and hiding right behind my favorite record store, which was called Raspberry Records. It's not there anymore, but they're filming it right there.
The deliberate stranger, right?
Yeah, the guy is seriously. If there's a more evil dude, I'm sure they exist, but he's one of them, man. He's right up there. He is something else. So anyway, people should see it, and or not.
So there's a episode in American Horror Story Hotel.
Yeah.
Where on Halloween, all the serial killers are able to come to the hotel.
Oh, geez.
And they have a whole episode on serial killers, and they're there at the hotel.
Do they get naked and burn their junk on the stove? Does that happen in there?
No, but they get naked and dance with Lady Gaga.
All right. Well, then good. I'm in.
So there you go.
What do you got there for us, Nicole?
I'm supposed to give you my clip, aren't I?
That's so wrapped up in these other clips.
Right,
there we go. I've scrolled down and I can't see what you put.
Let's see. Oh, so Brian's not going to cheat? That's good. I wish I couldn't cheat.
It's an easy one.
You'll probably get it right away. All right, here we go.
Yeah,
click it.
You better.
Here we go. Playing now.
How'd you guys let me beat you on that one? Come on. There's no liars in this game. Just players.
The seat taken?
Oh.
Nobody's
Just
in the
one.
secret I ain't taking from.
Oh, it's Solo, isn't it? Solo?
Yes.
It
Just
is.
one Solo.
Yeah.
Never tell me the odds.
You never tell you the odds. What'd you
Solo.
did you finally
I
you
finally got to see it because it's streaming on Netflix. I missed this in the theater, and so when it came on Netflix, I was like, "Yay! I can finally watch it."
What'd you think?
I loved it. I don't know what all the hate is about. I thought it was fun, and I really enjoyed it. So
I had a good time with it. I didn't hate. I had no hate for it really.
After what is it? Childish Gambino. This is America. I have a love for Donald Glover. I love him.
Oh, have you watched Atlanta yet?
Atlanta's real
I
good.
started to watch it.
Real good.
I couldn't really get into it.
It's very black.
It's very black.
Oh, stop.
Nicole, there are a lot
What
of
am I going to say?
there are a lot of black people in it.
I wasn't saying what you would say. I'm saying what have you watched Atlanta? It's very black.
It's very just no going in. It's very, very black.
That wasn't me imitating Nicole.
Okay, I was like, I don't think I would have thought that.
That was my angry moms who didn't like Tully. Continuation.
Yeah. Same ladies. Turns out.
But yeah, I love Donald Glover.
The only thing I didn't like about Solo was the fact that they try to jam all of his things, all of the Solo things into one movie. Like all of the origin stories, like what they did with River Phoenix at the beginning of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where, you find out why he hates snakes, and he got that scar on his chin, and he got the hat, and he got the whip, all in the space of one adventure.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of that either. I think this is slightly less egregious than that, but it's pretty
way
close.
Less egregious than that.
Yeah, but it's pretty close. I don't.
I had fun with. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so, and it reminded me of a lot of things that I didn't remember. So it was kind of a nice little, and then of course is it a spoiler if I say
What? How he got
who
his
shows
name?
up at the end?
Oh,
Who the girl talks to at the end?
Chewbacca.
No, I don't think it's a spoiler at this point.
Because I feel like it's gonna be
if you're a person who would get offended and upset about it, then you should have seen the movie a year ago when it came out.
Yeah. So when Darth Maul shows up, I was like, "Hey, there's that guy.
Yeah.
What happened to him, Darth Maul?"
I mean, I part of me liked that because I think Darth Maul's the only cool thing in the prequels.
He got shortchanged.
Yeah, big time. And so the fact that he's back and sewed up his guts or whatever they had to do, made robot legs for him, is kind of cool. So on the one hand, I think that's really cool. On the other hand, it is very fan service pandery to just sort of jam something like that in there. But I think I'm okay with it.
You're setting up another
with
movie, though.
That's what I think. Exactly. And we've already seen that Darth Maul had the new legs and survived in Clone Wars, in the Clone Wars TV show.
Oh, right. The cartoon had him, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you had his little robot legs clicking around on there. And
I want to say something in the comics also, but I don't know that it signals a sequel. In fact, as far as I know, there is no sequel planned for this movie, so I don't.
And there would have been had this done better.
Yeah.
Maybe it made a ton of money though, just not the money they thought it was going to make. I mean,
would the sequel be called Duo?
Just him and Chewie running around.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Very good. Here. Yeah. Tip your waitress. We'll be here all week. Yeah, Solo's all right. I don't understand the hate either. I know there was some hate for it.
When are all the Disney movies going away on Netflix? Do we know? Because I keep thinking
they're expecting Disney Plus to debut in October at about $7 a month.
But my understanding is that you're not going to see every Disney film just leave. That there's still contracts to keep certain things there, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's new stuff, old stuff. Touchstone Media Movies makes it there, but everything else Disney proper doesn't. Like, who knows? But I think there'll still be some leftovers, like the series things they do, the Punisher stuff and all that. That's all staying there for as long as we can figure. So who knows? But yeah, that is this year. Man, that's going to get nuts, isn't it? When
do you think Donald Glover would ever get his own movie?
As like a
Lando
movie?
As Lando? Yeah, a Lando movie.
No, maybe.
No.
Maybe I think.
If
a lot of people,
right, I mean,
the people didn't like the implications that he was doing it with a robot. You remember that bit in there? He's like, there's this implication that him and that robot are doing it.
I am not judging anyone.
Right. Man on robot sex, it's fine, whatever.
Let's look back, Scott, at Blade Runner 2049, where Ryan Gosling Gets it on with a replicant.
Yeah, that's Blade Runner. That's a whole future. Look, here's a hologram lady. That's different than taking a character like Lando, notorious ladies man, and then going, yeah, he's doing it with a robot. He's doing it with a droid.
How do you think he practices for the ladies?
Oh, that's a good point.
Very technical with the
yeah.
robot.
Why do you think he's so good with the ladies?
I get the feeling, I could be wrong about this. I hope I am, but I get the feeling that Disney is reevaluating the frequency of Star Wars movies, and I think that means holding back on lots of stuff. So
yeah, I would be fine with that. Every other year is fine with me.
Yeah, or even every couple of years, I think I'd be okay with. I just, I don't think the Marvel template works as well for Star Wars. I just don't think it does. Like, I don't think anyone knew that, including them. I think they were like, hey, it's Star Wars. Everyone eats it up, and we'll have good directors, and we'll make good stuff. And maybe part of it is us as fans. We see it and go, yeah, it's just sort of, it's okay. It's not, it's not when I was 8.
3 years would be great. Every 3 years. Kind of like what we had in the 80s, 70s and 80s with the Star Wars films.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Well, we'll see what they do.
Make your audience want it. Right?
Well, do we get
with such a drought, and it feels like now we're just the fire hose is just on. It's exactly. Like, okay, enough.
Yeah. Aren't we getting this year's episode 9? Right? Do we get that this year? Okay.
It's the end of this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I wasn't able to go, like, I didn't make it a priority to see this in the theater tells me that there's just too much coming out.
Yeah.
And I loved the movie.
Yeah. No, I'm
so there you go. Go see it on Netflix.
Actually, I think you did it the right way because the hype window had closed, right? So you just had a movie and you get to take it on your own terms, and you don't have to think about how well it reviewed or who liked it or didn't like it or if
how
the
much
internet's
money
pissed.
it made.
Yeah, who cares? Like, it's just, hey, I want to be entertained for a couple of hours, and it turns out Solo's pretty good at that. So I would agree.
I'm looking forward to the scene in episode 9 where Laura Dern comes back with metal legs at the very end.
Me too, dude. That's going to be great. She's going to say, run, and then her and
clever
girl, and then she's going to get Samuel L. Jackson's arm in a server room or whatever the hell that was. All right, well, there you go. It's Nicole Spag on Twitter. If you want to find these recommendations and more, should just follow her because it's fun to follow her in general, but go do that. Nicole, have a fantastic, warm, beautiful day.
Yeah.
Bye.
And we'll see
Nicole.
you later. Bye now. Okay.
Very good.
Well,
any updates on Baby Watch 2019?
Let me check. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. A text message. Arriving today. Your Amazon package with Chico Key Fit infant car seat base. Oh, my wife must have bought the babies something. Oh my gosh. I got people congratulating me.
Tina listened to an Amazon notification that came up on the Echo, and it spoiled one of her birthday presents.
Oh, that's no good. Well, I know this seat isn't for me, so it's fine. Everything's good. That's going to do it for the show today. We're going to be here tomorrow. I've talked to Wendy already. We got a topic. Everything's good.
Oh, good.
I'm
feeling old when your children have children.
Yeah.
Tomorrow on their readers.
Exactly. And what does this make Wendy? It makes Wendy a great aunt. Right?
Yeah. Right.
Ha! Well, take that, Wendy.
Yeah.
Take that.
Grand aunt?
No, it'd be a great aunt, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be a great aunt?
Well, you're a grandfather.
Grand aunt?
I don't know how
Oh yeah, what is a great? Because a great grandfather is the next is
the next level.
Their kid's kid.
Okay, Lesarge confirms great aunt. So they don't do a grand aunt. You're never going to be a grand aunt. You'll just be a great aunt.
You'd be a great aunt. Grand aunts that's for losers.
I do like Doc Medpot. Just shorten it to Grant.
Wendy, you're a Grant.
Grant Wendy. Grant Wendy.
Grant Wendy. That's it. That's the show. We'll
Far
be
better
back.
than Grunkle.
Way better than Grunkle. But we'll be here tomorrow. Don't you worry. That'll be fun. And today I'm pretty much incognito, but I'll be back tomorrow. So there's that. So no shows today. We moved core to tomorrow. We moved all this normal Wednesday stuff to tomorrow.
It's a good thing Tom's not here to do DTNS because that would blow everything, wouldn't it?
Well, I would just bow out. In fact, they're still doing it. I'm just not on them with them. So they'll live without me today. So normal stuff tomorrow. Everybody come back for that. don't forget, you can support this proceedings, all the things we do here, these proceedings, not this proceedings. That's bad English. At frogpants.com/TMS. Right there's a link to the Patreon. Or you can just go straight there, patreon.com/TMS. It's always /TMS. And everything you need is there. We got stuff coming up soon. Probably, maybe even tomorrow we can announce the big deal.
I'm hoping. Have you heard anything back from who you're waiting to hear back from?
No, although I haven't looked since the show started, so it's possible. As of this morning, before, pre-show I hadn't. Let me just look real quick. So this is a fun little thing for the chat. In fact, here's some music while I do it. Hold on here. Don't I have a good little theme I can use?
It's 9:30.
All right, so I'm going to just check real quick. Oh, no, that was for nothing. That was for naught. It's not here. But anyway, I'm...
By the way, our winner today, David, in Minnesota, he already has both of those games. So Monday, those same games are going to get given away a third time.
Did you find him a good alternative?
I will. I'll find him something.
Because this is the problem. The two games that you had on for play today and last and Monday are really good. And as a result, a lot of people already bought them.
Yep.
So
exactly.
We keep running into this problem when they're really good games. But just think, if you don't have them, you're going to get a really hot pair of games.
And I gave away so many toys during Coverthon, so many like Loot Crate toys and all that stuff. I have a very slim pickings for like other kinds of goodies. So
I got a whole bunch of physical stuff. You know what I'm going to do? I'll load out that spreadsheet with a list, and we can just start making packages out of it.
Awesome. Let's do that. Great.
And then you can still make the call every day, but then if it's stuff from here, we'll just do it from stuff from here.
Perfect. That's perfect.
No update yet. Don't worry, everybody. I will tweet out a photo of the little booger when he comes out, whenever that happens today. So I'm very excited about it.
He's coming out.
No. No vajarn in the photo. Especially my kids' vagina.
Exactly.
I will not be putting a photo of my daughter's vagina on the internet. All right. That's it. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We're going to get out of here now with music from Brian Ibbett. You know him. You love him. Yes. What do you got over there?
Carl got back in the house, Carl, and said, hello. The last time I requested a song was a few years ago when I started my new job. Now I'm making this request because I'm resuming that job full time. Why? Well, you've probably heard of diverticulitis. In late June, a flare-up led to intestinal perforation, which led to an abscess, which broke into my small intestine. Fast forward through 3 ER visits and 2 hospital admissions. The original perforation healed, but the small intestine never did. I mostly got back to work for 3 months as a competitive eater. And then in December, just kidding. And then in December, had 1 large part of my large intestine and 2 small parts of my small intestine removed. The 28th, which is a couple days ago, would mark the day when I'm allowed to return to work full time and should finally be able to put all of this behind me. Signed, Carl. Well, Carl, I'm happy that you're doing better. Holy cow. I know
it's the worst.
More than me. Scott can absolutely relate to all that
It's
stuff.
the worst. I haven't had a flare-up in a very long time, which I'm happy to say. I ended up finding a doctor who's come up with the right combination of choices, lifestyle stuff, and meds to make it so it's a bay. I haven't had a problem. It's part of the reason why I got all fat again, because I don't have to stress so much about what I ate. That's why I lost all that weight. Look, here's the dirty secret. Back in 2015, 2014, it wasn't just me going, I'm going to get skinny again and blow everyone away with my svelte figure. That's not what it was. It was me, sick as a dog, and eating hardly anything every day.
Unable to eat the things you want to eat because of diverticulitis.
And I lost 50 pounds doing it. And then now that things have gotten better, I'm like, well, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
And now it's I'm going to go to Freddy's on a Sunday and make that my only meal of the day.
Yeah. It's kind of insane. But anyway, I feel for you, dude. I really do. I feel for you.
Yeah. Back in 2003, the Cardigans, you know them, you love them, did a cover of Kraftwerk's Das Model, the model, on their single for the song For What It's Worth. This is a great cover. I had no idea this existed, so I'm super glad that Carl let me know about it. Here are the Cardigans and Das Model. Das Model.
Ooh, I believe you. That's going to do it. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.